literally crash YouTube. I'm seeing folks are up and waiting. Welcome back to the Steady Show, folks. Thank you so much for your patience. I'm not sure what the issue is. A while ago, as soon as I'm about to hit live, boom, the internet went down, and it's still not perfect. But I'm showing live right now using data or data, whatever they call it. So if you're here right now, if you're hearing me clearly, let me know. If the internet sounds choppy, please let me know. If the internet sounds choppy, let me know. If I'm not sounding clear, let me know. If you're hearing me clearly, let me know. I'm seeing some more folks into the room right now. All right, it looks like the internet is about to stabilize again. All right, it looks like it has stabilized, so we probably can try it again. Clear, thank you so much, Black Obsidian, confirming that I am clear. Hey, Don Rowe, happy birthday, Don Rowe. I hope it's been a wonderful day for you. Big up. Ross Neville is saying loud and clear. Respect for that, Ross Neville. Thank you for confirming that. So, the thing literally went live as soon as, give me just a minute. Let me just pull up back my screen, right? The thing literally went live as soon as I was just standing there wondering what's happened with the internet. Yeah? But we're coming back up, and we're not going to be long because, of course, it's late. So it's going to be another live recording, all right? So let's go into it right away. We're not wasting no time.
Attorneys representing Central Westmoreland MP Dwayne Vaz have threatened to sue Councillor Julian Chang unless she retracts what they say are false and defamatory comments she made against him on Monday. The councillor has accused the sitting member of parliament of sexual harassment. He denies the allegation. The demand letter was issued on Tuesday by the law firm Knight, Jr. and Samuels. It says the comments made during her interview on Monday are wholly untrue and have caused serious damage to MP Vase's reputation. The attorneys say her reliance on allegations of sexual harassment as a tool to advance her narrative that their client is destroying her political career was most unfortunate. The letter further addressed claims by Mrs. Chang that MP Vaz removed her as chairman of the Savannah-Lamar division. It says an election was held in the division at which Mrs. Chang was in attendance, but it says she was neither nominated nor elected to any position. The attorneys are demanding that the councillor issues a public apology and retract her comments by Friday, January 30. They are demanding the retraction be published on nationwide news, failing which, they say, Vaz will sue Chang.
And the People's National Party PNP Women's Movement says it was unaware of sexual harassment allegations against MP for Central Westmoreland Dwayne Vaz by Councillor Julian Chang. Chang, who represents the Savannah-Lamar division in the parish, told Nationwide News on Monday that she has been barred from constituency meetings after rebuffing what she says are sexual advances from the MP. The councillor says she reported the matter to the party, but no action was taken.
Have you reported this to the Secretariat, to the leadership of the PNP?
Every single thing that I have spoken to you about now, yes.
Have you sent those things in writing?
I have sent the messages to them, yes.
And what was the response you received?
I was told that an Internal Affairs Commission would have been having a meeting with us, and to date I have not had a meet. Oh, this has been going on for almost a year now.
And no communication from the party leader or the party general secretary or any senior officer for the party?
I did try to reach out to the general secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, and I have not received a response.
Julian Chang, councillor for the Savannah-Lamar division. But in a release on Tuesday, the women's movement says the allegations first came to their attention when it was shared with our news center. The women's movement says it has since reached out to the party leadership and Councillor Chang on the matter. The movement says it's confident the PNP will empanel its independent complaints committee to ensure that the matter is properly investigated and the appropriate action taken.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these. But before we get into that proper, we do have with us some news coming in. Attorneys representing Central Westmoreland MP Dwayne Vaz have threatened to sue Councillor Julian Chang unless she retracts what they say are false and defamatory comments she made against him on Monday. The councillor has accused the sitting member of parliament of sexual harassment. He denies the allegations. The demand letter was issued on Tuesday by the law firm Knight, Jr. and Samuel as well. To discuss this further, we are now joined by one of the MP Vase's attorneys, that's Burt Samuels. Good evening, Sir Samuels.
Burt.
Good evening. Good to be with you.
Good evening. It's good to hear from you as well. So, Mr. Samuels, what has been the instructions given to your firm by your client, that's Dwayne Vaz, in relation to Julian Chang's allegations?
Well, I think I did send a copy to Nationwide because you published what we call the defamatory comment. And in that letter, we wrote to her telling her that she made a lot of falsehoods against the member of parliament. We're asking her to withdraw them. Numerally, I would say the first was that she said that there was sexual harassment of her. She complained and spoke about it for the first time in our instructions 10 months later and gave some excuse why she did not speak about it before. But we know it is his victory in the elections that has caused her to be in the political wilderness because she was giving her support to his opponent and his having won. She was removed from the divisional as chairman of the division by an election by the members. And she's blaming that on your program that he removed her. It was an election which she attended, that she was not even nominated because based on her conduct, there's a loss of confidence in her as a supporter of the People's National Party.
And let's start with the most serious of those allegations, the ones regarding sexual harassment. She did provide, as you said, they were old, but WhatsApp messages of a questionable nature in terms of the interactions between her and the member of parliament. Has the MP given an account of those WhatsApp messages?
Well, I must tell you that when she said that he had a dream, she encouraged him to tell her what the dream was. And in the WhatsApp exchange, when she told her, she did not say it is inappropriate. She did not say, please don't say these things. And it was a dream that he said that he had. Now, if she had reprimanded him or made any comment to show that she was displeased, it's different. You see, adults must know that if a person makes a sexual advancement on you and you entertain it, that's not harassment. And we don't think that the dream amounted to that. But all she said is, were you drunk? She didn't go any further. Neither did he.
So, just to be clear, welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. I'm seeing 82 watching right now, and we're talking about 10:58 at night. I'm seeing we're now up to 94. All I'm going to ask you to do, is go ahead, double tap your screen. That will register as a like. I see Katabi asking. I see Wifestyle asking. The moderators are asking. Big up on yourself. You understand me? Again, happy birthday to Don Rowe. Leonie Lioness' birthday coming up on Thursday. So big up to Team Aquarius. Smart people. Yeah, man. So big up to everybody that is here right now. Thank you so much for coming. So this is another late night recording, right? But I just heard, so we know, so this is what's happening. Dwayne Vaz decided not to speak to Nationwide to clear his name after, Julian Chang went and made the allegations. But what he's done is that he's decided to respond through his attorneys. Now, I know that a lot of people might come and say, yeah, man, them so Julian Chang ain't reached there so yet, right? Where they are in the conversation is that him contact the law firm, and everybody know Burt Samuels already. Always I represent the PNP. Them, by the way, Knight and some other things, so that sound like the one with KD Knight. You understand me? If I'm not correct, you can let me know. So the whole the Burt Samuels, you know, the Klansman defender and all of that, we've seen Burt Samuels over the years. You understand me? Man with debate with Mutty Perkins. Very brilliant man. You understand me? But Burt Samuels always a defend the questionable people them. So now that this Dwayne Vaz man is in question. So I even look at this the comment section while I was watching this, and for some people, they're saying they cannot believe that Burt Samuels is going to try to spin the narrative into victim blame or to victim shame. But folks, please understand that when it comes to legal matters and you hire one lawyer to defend you, your lawyer's job is to defend you, whether you're right, you're wrong, whether you're guilty, you understand me, or you're not guilty. Your lawyer's job is to get you off the case or to ensure that your penalties are not as tough. You don't face the highest possible amount of penalty for whatever you did, should you be found guilty. So a couple of things he's saying. So when Vaz said, when Vaz talked about the dream, and she only responded by saying, are you drunk? Is it that Mr. Samuels is trying to spin that statement to say or to suggest that by her asking him the question, if you were drunk, that is some evidence that she entertained the conversation? I don't know about that. That sounds like something that could be argued in the court of law, but that doesn't sound like something that proves that, you know, she entertained the conversation. I don't think it also says anything about what she's done, about her not having a strong case, which it would be in this case, right? Simply because it took so long for her to do it. We understand that certain things weren't done to a particular standard, and when you don't do certain things to a certain standard, and, you know, when lawsuits come in, then some things can be difficult to prove, but with a good lawyer, things can be proven. So a couple of things we know, because we're going to chop through the conversation, right? A couple of things we know. We are not aware that she wrote any emails based on what she said to Cliff Hughes them yesterday, and based on what Mr. Samuels is saying. All of these messages, apparently, they took place through, text messages. But the last time I checked, and this is not for me to decide. Are you saying that if WhatsApp groups are used to carry out, or text messages are used to carry out conversations which can be of a legal nature, are you saying that text messages cannot be admissible in the court of law, right? And are you saying that the fact that she reached out to the general secretary about the matter, right? And the general, MBL, welcome to everybody. She reached out to the general secretary and she did not get a response from the general secretary. Are you saying the fact that she sent the messages, that those messages, they don't represent her thoughts, and the fact that she's of some kind of good standing? Of course, we understand that sending an email or making some kind of what they deem to be formal complaints could be, but clearly it seems to me that the party is what you call, it seems that they're ostracizing her at this point. And usually when they intend to do bad things to you, they tend to ostracize you. You understand me? They tend to push you in a corner and let you stand on your own. So clearly, the PNP has reached to a point where they don't really want to deal with Julian Chang anymore. So Julian Chang, she will have a decision to make. So the question is, how is she going to respond in this situation? So I just wanted to speak on that. Let me allow the learned attorney to speak. I see people are commenting. I'll come to the comments soon. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button as we go through this exercise so we can learn exactly what Dwayne Vaz and them lawyer them have up them sleeve right now as it relates to the claims that Julian Chang made defamatory statements towards Dwayne Vaz. Let's hear some more.
Any further, he had no interest in as it were, living the dream or continuing with it. So that when I heard the interview last night, I was listening for more. There was nothing else coming. She has now sought to make it in sexual harassment retroactively to make out a case that he's been vindictive because he did not get his way with her. No, he didn't get his way with her. It's just a figment of her imagination. Further, she said that she didn't know that he was a married man. No.
I wonder how he would be able to prove that. And how do they know? You understand me? Or are they certain that she doesn't have more information and evidence as well as witnesses and all the other things that could create a case for her? At this stage, I feel like they're trying to, intimidate her in some way. And we know that they've given her up to the 30th, which is what, Friday? So Friday they're asking Julian to respond. So it's going to be up to Julian now to ask herself if she's willing to, allow this thing to proceed into a legal matter. If she's willing to spend the money, if she's willing to have the dirty laundry aired, I don't know. But either way, the actions that Vaz is taking right now, it's telling me that if Juliana decide to go hard and done, then the better alternative then would have to be they call a meeting together, they all sit down as adults and they work out the issue, which is what we can never understand when it comes to PNP. So two PNP, MP, and councillor have problems. Mark Golden is the leader, and Mark Golden thinks he's the best person to lead Jamaica. At least that's what he thought until Andrew Bossing asked at the election the other day, right? But as we said before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, why is it that the leader of the PNP cannot resolve this? So for the ladies now, the women's group and everything, you saw the PNP women. I remember what for them women's group called. Somebody can put it in the comments. You see how they condemn George Wright, and you see how they spoke on other things. Well, now we're understanding that they're saying that they weren't aware. I wonder what Julian Chang would say about that. I wonder who Julian Chang would say that they are aware, but nothing was said or done on her behalf, because it seems to me that PNP has one guiding policy, is that when anything goes wrong and a female is involved, then they have to find a way to allow the male to trample over the female. And that is what me not like, because as we say, we don't want the whole heap of tight jacket politician them, because PNP history has proven that the whole heap of tight jacket politicians that they keep throwing at Jamaica, they serve no real good, right? So the new team that you see in the parliament right now, they're just a replica of the old PNP. Bag talking, but not much behind it. Let's hear some more, because, and again, folks, I just can't play audio from people's channels without doing commentary. That could result in some kind of copyright strike. So commentary has to be necessary, whatever I want to call it. You understand me? Let's listen to some more. We should be done shortly. Let's hear some more of this.
This is her political colleague. He got married in 2024. He wears a wedding band. And she comes to tell you she didn't know that he was married. That's how you know when people are promoting a falsehood.
She never had to know that he was married because he wears a red wedding ring. If you play lawyer now, what evidence you have that she knows that he married? Was she invited at the wedding? Was she an officiant at the wedding, or a participant or attendee at the wedding? If she don't know, she just never know. So I like it up. If Julian Chang decides she wants to fight this out with a lawyer, the one thing I know is that this stuff like this could just become a legal case. But either way, we know that the biggest motive that the PNP has by doing this at this late stage is that they want this to go away. They don't want this to continue in the public. They want this to get tied up in court, and they find a way to come up with some other distractions so that nobody will focus on what's really happening with them. The comment section is burning up. I like it. I'll be coming to the comment section soon. Let me go through this.
And they go on other issues and find it necessary to lie.
All right, let me do this. Allow this to play. All right, so now he is suggesting, or he's stating that she might be lying here. Let's go.
Samuels, you're suggesting, based on what you're saying here, that that was the only interaction that would be considered of a sexual nature between them, because Ms. Chang would suggest that this was not just, it was a pattern of behavior, not just a single instance.
Right.
Yeah, because when you probed her yesterday, the only example she gave was a screenshot of a dream. She was not able to tell you the contents of any other conduct that amounted to sexual harassment. The law says it's easy for someone to allege that you're sexually molesting them. Anyone can go and say that. So what the law looks for is material that amounts to that.
But calling into Cliff Hughes yesterday doesn't mean that she would have necessarily divulged all of the information she has at that point. I believe that if there are things that are of a more sensitive nature, she probably will hold on to that information, because by now, Julian Chang supposed to understand how the PNP them stay. So this sounds good enough. And if when we hear about lawyers, this is how, you see, Burt is coming from way back in the day with the PNP, when, we never had people who were as red, or, who knew a lot of things. And we're not saying it went for everybody. We're just saying that, our foreparents, they've had their struggles coming through. Multi did they back with them in the day. Now we have some newer generations raising up and talking. So just understand this, folks. It is his job to try to spin the narrative. All I know, though, is that when you're a part of an organization and this kind of stuff is happening to you, and nobody from the leadership, the women's division, or any of those different units or departments or whatever they want to call it, once you see them go silent on you, then you know you're not really in a safe place. The good thing is that the people elected her, and if in whatever way, whether they want to hash it out in a court or outside a court, what I do know is that, and I want to say big up to Julian Chang for standing up and calling nationwide same way. So it's nothing to regret, because when the system is against you, sometimes you have to put the matter out in the public so we can hear both sides of the story. And so they will be forced now to address and to provide redress. Today we see a PNP lady. She forward and she talk and she has to listen to me. Vaz, we not like what we hear say you are going with. And we're not going to jump behind you. We're not going to smile up with you. Work with the lady, that's what we want you to do. And as JLP, we assure you that's what we want them to do. We want them to fight in public so we can stay up at night and make content. You understand what I say? We don't hit the like button if you don't see me talk good. Let's go again and listen to some more of this.
Who condoned it. That's different, because adults can consent. And listen, your silence sometimes means that you're consenting. Or if you said, were you drunk? It means you must at least put your foot. She's a married woman. If she was offended by this joke, then she should have said, who are you talking to? I have my husband. Don't do this. Nothing like that.
She never said it was a joke. Who said it was a joke? If it was a joke for him, it wasn't a joke for her. What do you mean by it was a joke? Who determines what is a joke? You understand me? If you give somebody a joke, the least you would expect is that they find it funny, but that was not the response. So Mr. Samuel is saying a lot of things right here, saying but hey, let's go.
From her.
But
It
what
came
about
from her because he has.
And that makes a wife style. What kind of
But,
joke?
but certainly, Mr. Samuels, as I said, you are
Exactly,
you are defending
MDL.
your client
What
as
kind of joke?
expected, and your client has given
No, I'm
instructions.
defending truth. I'm defending
Very
truth.
well. But what about the power dynamic at play? He is the MP, she's a councillor, and
Same
the
so wife
concerns
style. She
and
never
potential
laugh.
political risks at play in this scenario. Don't you think that provides a certain explanation as to why she may have waited before putting forward these allegations?
Oh, that's a beautiful speculation. I mean, the power, I guess any member of staff at my workplace who is lower than me can always run for the power dynamics and all that kind of thing. What we want is tangible evidence, and that's absent.
Understood. Then what about the allegation put forward by your...
So he's claiming that they want tangible evidence and it is absent. So she must determine whatever they have and whatever else is there. What if tomorrow Julian Chang decides to respond with some very explosive information? It would be very interesting. That's why we're following the case, because the fact that she reached a nationwide, it says she's at her wit's end. The only thing I would say, if there is any credibility to what Mr. Samuels is saying, based on the case that they say they have against Julian, then we would expect that, based on what Mr. Samuels is saying, that the only way they can have a case is if she cannot substantiate or she decide, to back down in some way, shape, or form. Because you have to understand, when you are up against a big organization, we've seen this happen before. We see how PNP deal with people who used to be there for them. So Mr. Samuels knows very well that Mrs. Chang has to play it very wisely, right? He knows that very well. But we also must be aware that no matter how much Julian Chang may be in the right, when you hire a lawyer, the lawyer is there to defend you, such as what Mr. Vaz has done. So Mr. Vaz probably clearly realized that trying to resolve issue or trying to get Julian Chang to go ahead with whatever he wants, such as that message that we heard about removal from group and removal from chairmanship and so on, it tells us that she may not be as strong and rowdy or whatever, but she will stand up. So we don't know what else she has up her sleeves. You understand me? She might just have some things right there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Let's hear some more of what he has to say.
And which I think you substantiated today to suggest that she was working against his campaign during the general election. Does he have proof to substantiate that?
Well, I tell you this. In the she was not even nominated to come back to be president of the division.
He did not answer the question. He did not answer the question. Just note that. He thought about it. He did not answer the question. And it's a valid question. Right? So this is all representation right here. But let us continue. Just note that he never answered the question. You understand me? Let's go.
And that speaks volumes. That she has lost her credibility with the party. No, she didn't even take the matter to the women's movement. She didn't seem to have this.
Pay attention. So we understand they're making this seem as if this is a problem between Julian Chang and Dwayne Vaz. But Mr. Samuels just said a while ago that Julian Chang has lost her credibility with the party. So this is telling me that this is more than just an issue between Julian Chang and Dwayne Vaz. It seems to me that other players are involved in this situation right here. He just said it. She has lost her credibility with the party. So somebody says she took it to the PNP leaders. Exactly. She did. She sent messages. But again, the fact that she sent message and them to respond, it says, the side, just like how Mr. Samuel said earlier on that silence could mean consent, then the fact that she sent them a message and they did not respond, it also could say that their silence meant that not just an issue between Julian Chang and Vaz, but it could be a bigger issue that is going on right here. Well, we're just saying, we're going by the words of the very learned attorney. Yeah?
Sexual harassment is determined within the party. It is what you call her finding herself in the political wilderness. She should have brought it to the women in the party to resolve it. And she told you last night that she told everyone. And when she was pressed further, she said, oh, I didn't tell the women's group. So the women's group doesn't come into everyone?
But she did suggest that she informed the central executive, including the general secretary. I don't understand fully the internal workings of the People's National Party as to the proper authority, but one would think that the general secretary having knowledge of such a event would be substantial enough.
Yeah, but one would think that empathy would come from the women's movement, and that's where she should go firstly, because she's going to men, and I think that it's best if she went to the women in the party.
But she never said she's looking for empathy. She wants the issue resolved. So if the women's movement offered her empathy, which means understanding, showing she on some kind of support or whatever. So they're saying she never went to the women's movement. They would have offered her empathy. But the issue she's having is, apart from the breakdown and being left out of meetings and being sabotaged or whatever, because we have to understand this is not just about the harassment issue. This is about how him has sabotaged fear work as a result of that. So it is okay if she has a bad perception or misperception of his entire motive, and she's tying the situation just to how him start operate after. You understand me? I said to you, she turned him down and him start behave bad. No. The bigger issue for Julian Chang is that she wants to do her work and she wants to be included in meetings and she wants to be a part of anything that has to do with her duties and her work. I am not getting the feeling that she's asking. I don't think we elect people so they can be friends with one another. She's been duly elected so she can carry out her job and her duties. But when it comes to things such as sabotaging her ability to carry out her work effectively, no, that's an issue that needs to be resolved. And I saw some screenshot where she was a part of some group. I don't know what the group was, but he removed her from the group and he communicated to say, you know, don't quote me on this, but him pretty much say him remove her from the group simply because some issues to do. In other words, she and them are on the same page, which has to be the case or the justification. So he made that decision, and the decision that he made that decision and he informed the members of that group of his reason for removing her from the group. So it seems to me that Vaz is acting like her boss in this case. And he's making decisions, you understand me, that will hurt her ability to carry out her work. But the bad part about this is that these two have been having issues, and the party hierarchy, they have not seen the need to try to resolve it. I think me I talk too good right now. I am at 147 right now, visible in the room. I'm only seeing 55 likes. I'm just going to ask you to double tap your screen and get us to 100 likes right now. If you're using a mobile phone, just go ahead, double tap your screen. Just do it right away. Just do it right away. Keep watching. Double tap your screen. See here. That's it. That's it. Go ahead and do that, and that will get me to 100 likes. We will be done shortly. Okay, let's hear some more of this.
I would be more comfortable were a female to go to the women's movement and make this, because they would have the empathy that is needed. So she goes to power. What she should go to is a gender that would be empathetic with her.
Okay, but I think she said that it didn't come to her mind to go to that angle. Do you think that's an unreasonable thing under the circumstances? She went to what she believes to be the constituted authority, the general secretary.
Well, I think a girl of tender years could be excused by that, but I think a grown married woman knows that she can go to her party's women's movement and get this matter addressed.
I think there's some logical fallacy involved in that. Right? She reached out to the general secretary. She had tried to resolve an issue with Dwayne Vaz, and they would have a closer relationship, if me understand very well. Right? So having reached out to the general secretary, if the general secretary didn't want to deal with the issue, then, and Mr. Samuels is saying she should have reached out to the women's movement, then why if that's so important and that's the chain of command, right? Then why the general secretary did not refer the situation, you understand me, to the women's group and so on? Why wasn't there a referral made? There was no referral. I believe she was moved to call the radio station because the channels that they claim are set up to deal with issues of this nature, they're not working. And so she put out her frustration out there, but understand how it works. That is what I am getting from all of this, right? Women's movement can't say that the women's movement that deal with for them own a thing. We need something to be resolved with this man. Why didn't the general secretary act when she reached out via message? You understand me? I say, did she even say anything? I guess she suggested that they didn't even acknowledge the message, but that's a whole different story. Let's hear the rest of this. I'll be done with this shortly. Let's let him speak some more.
Understood, Mr. Samuels. I'm sure we could. I ask you then, just as a final follow-up, what is the intention of your client if she does not follow through with your request for an apology?
We have given her until Friday to withdraw her statement that she was removed as chairman by him of the division because there was an election, so she lied on that. We give her until Friday to admit that she was not being sexually harassed, and we give her until Friday to retract.
So if I understand, he's saying he did not remove her. She was voted out. But could it be that she has strong evidence that he had something to do with the fact that she was voted out? You understand me? I say, because this I will come right down back to the whole thing, you know. You understand me? If it is that he had anything to do with the fact that she was voted out as chairman and or whatever she was supposed to be a part of, yeah, then suppose she's of the view that he had something to do with it, then she probably gonna just say, hey, I him kick me out or whatever. I'm just saying.
Of those lies against the member of parliament. It is his victory in the polls that has caused her to be cast in the political wilderness. She's the creator of her own demise politically.
Understood that.
Yeah, the strong statements. You understand me? She's the creator of her own demise politically. Those statements, they sound very, very conclusive, you know. This to me sound like a foregone conclusion, you know. The tone of this lawyer is telling me that the PNP already decide what they want. You understand me? And the only person who doesn't seem to know is Julian Chang. Just by what he's saying. He's made a lot of strong statements about her. You understand me? So interesting stuff right here.
Is Burt Samuels. He is an attorney representing Central Westmoreland MP Dwayne Vaz. Thank you for your time, Mr. Samuels. All the best.
Okay, all the best.
Have a good.
All right, Mr. Samuels. Let us see what happens. We are all waiting to see what is going to happen. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with me. We are 39 minutes. We're not going to an hour tonight. So let me just go through this before I look at the comments, right? I put a poll in the post tab this evening, and thanks, I have 440 responses. So the question was, based on the ongoing negative developments between Dwayne Vaz and Julian Chang, do you think it would be in Chang's best interest politically to join the JLP? Well, I asked that question before I learned that she is the author of her own political demise based on what Mr. Samuel said a while ago. But let's go to the votes, right? So the lowest number of votes, 5% of individuals, they say other, that's what they've chosen, right? And 32% say no, it wouldn't be in her interest to cross it. And 63% says yes, it would be in her best interest. Interesting enough, some people, excuse me, some people have some very interesting comments. I want to read some of them. Somebody said, we do not want her in JLP. We don't trust them. Somebody said, we don't want them over here. PNP don't change their heart. They will always be with their party. Interesting stuff right here. Somebody says she needs to leave PNP and them toxicity. I agree, but where does she go? Right? Somebody said if she's going through all of this and still hanging on to PNP, then we do not want her in the JLP. The JLP for her would be a last resort and not really a choice. I think that's a brilliant statement. Somebody say she was chosen by the people to represent them, but the PNP really don't like women who are strong, and that is why they are giving her the cold shoulder for her to get fed up and leave. Great statement. You see how steady people them talk, steady family talk, very brilliant people. Somebody said the JLP is not a dumping ground for people who are looking to offload their political baggages. Oh my goodness. Somebody said she may as well stay there. In my opinion, it seems the chairmanship of the council is important to her. And since the JLP is minority, the MP would use the opportunity to nominate who they want for the position if she leaves. Excellent statement again. Right, the last one. I personally admire her for her service to the people and that she wants to serve. So, good stuff right there, so for Julian Chang. So that's what the people, they have to say. Let's hear what the people in the comments are saying. Are you folks going to get me to 100 likes? I believe I've worked for 100 likes. Come on, treat me some, man. PNP, even if I want to, at least me go to some information we can digest. You understand me? Even though no like we when you can't hit the like button. Hitting the like button I mean to say the like we, you know. Hitting the like button just means to say you like the show. You don't have to like me, just like the show if I'm talking good, amen. All right, let's go for some comments right now. Somebody say, what kind of hours? Well, we did that one before. Somebody say, there is no way you're... Okay, we got that already, so let's go. Let's read. Some people are laughing. They're steady. The lawyer, they're not shaky. Him sound away, man. And them old lawyer, you know. You understand me? All right, let's go. Samuel's doing his job. Yes, wife style. And I was looking in the comment section under this video that I looked at, that I played earlier on. I believe I saw an interesting comment from somebody. Right? And when issues like this happen, people are going to have all kinds of opinions based on their experiences. Somebody say, she has not gone about this properly. She did not formally write to the party. She did not report him to the police. She has been soft on him. So this has only emboldened him. I hope she gets justice, but I don't think she will. Best to cross the aisle and be more assertive going forward. And we don't know what side of the aisle that statement represented. Somebody said this is not the first and definitely won't be the last. They did the same thing to Karen Cross. The PNP have no empathy towards female victims. Again, it's a strong statement that a lot of people feel towards the PNP. Let's hear. I think there's another one that I want to read. All right, here this one. This one was pretty interesting. right? This person said, please don't come from me over my comment. I'm a woman, and this is simply my perspective. She says there were multiple sexual advances, yet she never told him that those advances made her uncomfortable. I genuinely don't understand why. If it were me, I would have said something the first time, and if it continued, I would address it publicly. She mentioned not wanting to make him feel bad, but feel bad about what? In a situation like that, his feeling wouldn't be my priority. Again, when you want to protect your job and you know who you're dealing with, you ever hear them say when you're handing a lion mouth, you have to take time, draw it out? That may be what she's been doing. So let's hear from our own folks that are here tonight. Somebody say, why did he go to the husband and said she's having an affair? Again, that to me seems malicious in intent. And does he have any proof that she has been involved with anybody else? And if that is the case and she decides that she now go withdraw her statement, could that now be a basis for her to counter sue him? You understand what I said to you? Does he have any proof that, and does she have any proof about going to her husband? So, as we said before, when it comes to court, it's not about what's true, it's what can be proven to be true or false, whether it's true or false. Right? Somebody says, Shaky Samuel admit that Vaz did make the comments. Therefore, he cannot interpret how people respond or view sexual advances. I like that. We spoke about that earlier on. Somebody say, I hope that Mr. Strong doesn't back down. Probably would not be a good thing to back down, because that will tell them, say, they can take advantage, but she has to play her hand wisely, whatever she's going to do, right? Because as you can see, nobody is necessarily a lot of people are not eyeing her, but nobody controls her decision. And at the end of the day, is who the people are willing to vote for, right? So Samuels is hinting at the defense route. He might, the defense route he might employ. Okay, good. All right, let's hear. How is he going to argue when Vaz told her, when he, Vaz, told her husband she cheated? Interesting question. She has been having problems with him prior to the election, I understand. Yes, she has been. Somebody say, all right, cool. So people are talking good right here. So why would Vaz call her husband and tell? All right, somebody is asking that. If you go on Dujan's account, the amount of evidence report about what Vaz has been doing. We know we big up Dujan last night for it. You understand me? Big up Steady, thank you. Somebody, it would be good if Miss Chang seek legal advice before coming forward. I would say so too, because remember, I always say on the show, these people love it when you make statements that, you know, they can use against you, bring you going to court, tie you up, the situation going a hush-hush, then they come and they build another distraction, everybody forgets about it. But that's the reason why I pin these issues, because these are issues that we will be referring to again as we deal with these people in the politics. We know how PNP stay already. She said, but she said there has been verbal gestures as well. And we know that when it comes to harassment, a lot of things can be deemed harassment. Again, I'm not even concerned about if Julian Chang has a case, right? Because based on what she said, and, you know, if she decides to go the legal route, then attorneys can help her. But life experience will teach you that sometimes it's better to get together and deal with the thing out of court. But knowing PNP and hearing Mr. Samuels' tone, it strongly suggests that they're at a point where, you know, the fact that they could bring up an allegation to say that she campaigned against Vaz, and the fact that he came out on top, that represents some kind of political demise for her. So there seems to be a lot of things that hasn't come to the surface as yet. And so what they've decided to do was to hit back. You understand me? So it's going to be interesting what Julian's response will be. Will we see another attorney hitting back at them? It's going to be interesting. One thing we know, we appreciate them for all the content that they're giving us. Big up on yourself. Just not do no foolishness. Take care of Julian. You understand me? She seems to be a good-hearted politician. And that's not easy to be said about people on the PNP side. My dog, I really good at a comment there we see about Mr. Samuels. I don't want no problems. Somebody says she has more evidence, plus other women can testify. That's what I was thinking too, wife style. And that's somebody saying they hate women. All right, so we're running through the comments and then we will be done shortly. Get me 19 more likes. We still have 145 in here. When I must end at 100 likes. Look how I just run through the case a while ago. Come on now, give me some credit now. It no cost you no money if you hit the like button. Don't hit the like button all if you're not PNP. The other PNP, them won't know. Liking the show doesn't mean that you're campaigning for the JLP if you're a PNP. Just understand that right now. I want to hit the like button and stop ramping me in here. All right. So, see there? Somebody is saying PNP, they know how to go after women. They come up with Karen. There was a case with 411. Didn't know that. I know about Venetia. You understand me? And others. Somebody say, Burt is trying to make it sound like this was consensual. He is kind of threatening her in a way. Yeah, man, his tone is very strong. His tone is strong. His stance is strong. And I don't know the fact that she has so much, and there were screenshots that she had sent to Nationwide as well. And talking about joke, Burt also knows very well that even if it's a joke, it still can be deemed as harassment. So, but of course, Burt is here. He comes out, he speaks on the radio, and he counters that a lot of this has to do with putting out the fire, doing the damage control, and then they work it out behind the scenes. But this is a very real issue, and it will need to be resolved by them. It's a real issue that exposes the weaknesses within the PNP. It shows us how much of a failed politician Mark Golding is. Mark Golding has become utterly irrelevant. Election just called the other day, and him win the seats them, and Mark Golding is already irrelevant. Look how many things that happen. Mark Golding is not addressing it. And we must look at this person as somebody that's ready to take over this country, especially after the JLP has done so well, especially after Hurricane Melissa. I think not. That man is not ready for the job. I need 15 more likes. All I know is it's going to get hot. Hot. Watch the space. Definitely will be watching the space, wife style. Somebody said a lawyer not only sounds. All right, I'm not going to read that one. You know, so we express our opinions very strongly. Somebody says she knows that the women's movement has no power. She wants her problem resolved. Yes, wife style. That's what I'm saying. You know it go already. You want a solution, you need a solution. It don't make sense you go through all of these bureaucratic things. One of the things that we teach people about very strongly over here is this whole Pickers Guild committee. You remember when PNP used to go on with the whole heap of corruption? The worst thing a PNP can say is that them refer the matter to a committee and they will investigate the matter. This kind of foolishness has been going on since manly days. And for manly days, PNP are great at the political stunt. They tell you they're setting up commission, they're setting up committee, they find a way to spend a whole bag of money and nothing comes out of it. So don't believe them when they say anything like this. Julian Chang is a PNP, so she knows this. I believe she's made the right move, because if she never did this, you know, based on what people believe about PNP, how do we know? What would we have possibly heard about Julian Chang had Julian Chang not let the puss out of the bag? Or had she not kept the puss in the bag. You understand me? I'm getting ready to close, folks. The men's club runs the women's movement, so might as well go to the men's club. That is it. I like that. Exactly. The party would then sue her. Them tie her up in no matter what she do. She's tied up. These PNP organization, supporters of evil, we're just gonna run through. I'm gonna try to keep this under 1 hour. You understand me? Sounds like it. All right. Thank you. Very great participation in the chat tonight from what I'm seeing. Somebody says she can go release his what that was. Oh my God. So much. Makia had in the chat. I think the last ones that we have right now. The lady must stand her ground. That's what somebody is saying. Nobody knows who hit the like button. So hitting it, nobody knows. Exactly. We need 13 more likes. You understand me? Lifestyle is saying harassment is not measured by the reaction. It's measured by the action. Absolutely. So, interesting what has happened. Interesting what developments is taking place. Mr. Samuels has said his piece. For those who will be watching the show afterwards, you get the live comment. You hear what people have to say. You get information from the polls. You get our reaction. I think we've used the time in a worthwhile manner tonight. So I may not see the 100 likes right now. I still need 13 more. But this is where I'm going to end this conversation tonight until we see what else is going to happen. Again, thank you to everybody. Thank you to all the moderators. Thank you to everybody who came out and supported the show tonight. Until we speak again, I want to say have a blessed night. On a big up on yourself. Heart of love, never short of love. Steady.